Welcome back, everybody. I'm back, so you can now dislike the episode and leave. That's what you can do. Get out of here. I'm back.
What are you talking about? They're gonna like it like no man's business.
No, that's not allowed. That's not allowed. That's not what we do around here. I did want to kick this off straight out the gate by saying, man, Shazam 2 is really great when you accidentally take an extra edible and you are melting in your couch. It is Shazam 2, I tell you. I tell you.
Actually watching that movie.
Look, it was on one of those things where I had it queued up after something else, and I was too lazy to reach for the remote, so I was just kind of like, it's time. I'm gonna do this at the comfort of my own home. There's no moving. Yeah, I'm gonna sit through this. It's way more fun that way. So that was an experience. Yeah, but I am back. We're gonna talk a lot more about Marvel, DC trailers, and all sorts of things in this show. But as always, before we get into that, I am of course your host this week, Armin. For those wondering, for the next 2 to 3 weeks, I might be here or there, depending on how it goes. And then after that, I'm back on more or less normal schedule where I'll be able to make the podcast. So it's just been crazy on my end. Some of the big fans, they know what's happened. It's just kind of like crazy. So my hours are all over the place. Outside of that, everything is good. The podcast is good as always, which means it's below average as always. But that's what we strive to do. That's what we do. It's been a time. As always, though, I am joined by Mitch.
I operate on the Bungie mentality of under deliver, never over deliver. So yeah, that's why it's average. But you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at 692 tweets and 692 pics. The link tree's in the description. I hope.
Right, it should still be there, right underneath all the topics. But another topic we have here is that Tristan is with us.
Yep, same as Mitch, but I thought you'd say that since you were Bungie, you were just gonna try and give everyone glaives that no one uses for the most part.
One of my friends who's come back to the game for Lightfall, he's been running around with that heavy stasis one. He loves it to the point where he was a Warlock main. He's now converted to Stasis Titan with that glaive. It's kind of. At least he's got more fashion than just a dress at this point.
But yeah, it's it's the same thing. Linktree. Otherwise, you can catch me at SJ Chance on Twitter.
And since Mitch did mention Bungie, I think it's only fair that we mention the missing member here, who at this point might as well be compared to Halo Infinite, and that's Ricardo, who's not here, Mr. Infinite himself. So
yeah, he's been all over the place.
Ricardo, I've seen his Instagrams. He's out there doing the things and the stuff. A busy man, Ricardo is. He's probably just honestly trying to dodge ever running into Nick in New York, and that's a full-time job at this point. I'm convinced that's what he's trying to
do. It would surprise me.
Yeah. Shout out to Nick, though. He's going to film school in New York, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. So I don't know, give it 15 years and the 18th reboot of Titans, and Nick might direct an episode.
I can't wait to see all the black and white films he makes in the next 3 years.
No, I'm telling you, he's just going to walk into WB's office being like, look, I'm the only Red Hood fan you guys got. Give me anything. And they'll be like, you know what? Yeah, that might be legit, though.
He's going to be like Luigi and Mario.
This
is cinema.
Hey, that's a good segue into our last topic. So everybody stay tuned, though, because we're going to talk about that Mario movie and our thoughts on it. But before we get there, we, of course, do have a bunch of other topics that we're going to get to. So we're going to do that right. Our first topic here is discussing Blade, which is set to start production in about 2 weeks, because last time Kevin Feige said it starts in about 6 weeks was about 4 weeks ago. So we found out that Mia Goth, who I will just straight up say, I have no idea who this is, but I see the cinephiles love her.
Yep.
Okay, so
I saw the article, I googled it, I was like, cool, I've seen her in nothing. I've never heard of any of these movies.
Yeah, yup. I feel bad, but like you said, I googled her and I was like, okay, a lot of people are very high on her capabilities and her acting. Like, she's almost 30, which, I mean, it tells me she's been around for a while just by looking at her films she's been in. And I've heard of a bunch of them. I just never seen them.
So I was surprised she's actually got a job in Hollywood. No.
It's
A woman almost in their 30s, goddamn. It's like
mm.
Leo DiCaprio up in that industry. What do you mean you're over 25?
Yeah,
Get out.
that's true. She's already past that age. You're out of Hollywood at this point.
No one wants to see a woman over 25. Get out of here.
I will say there is already a lot of speculation on who she could be playing. So
Please be Lilith. Please.
Yeah,
Well, let me correct you there. There's actually two Liliths in.
Okay,
Blade.
Lilith, mother of demons. There we go.
yeah.
That
Yes,
Lilith.
because there's the other Lilith is the daughter of Dracula.
Mm.
Yeah, we don't want that one.
Okay,
Though,
so
in fairness, you can make Lilith the mother of demons, the daughter of Dracula. You can do it that way.
I was
don't
gonna
care.
say,
just expand Blade out of vampires, please.
I was gonna say Marvel is 100% amalgamating the two different
I mean,
characters. It's
Because like what on a previous cast that me and Mitch were talking about, currently Marvel is experimenting with that with Blade's new ongoing run, where now instead of just being vampires, that he's hunting monsters and other supernatural beings. So that's going to be really interesting.
that's always how Blade, in my eyes, should be. Like vampires are a good thing, but like having him just deal with vampires all the time gets boring because you can only do the ancient original cult that's behind the scenes, modern day vampires and what they do, and Dracula. And then you're out.
Yeah.
You've exhausted your options. So it's like, as a Blade fanatic, I can tell you 100% him being a more Monster Hunter type Van Helsing thing, 100% better in my opinion. So it's...
Yeah. Now, you can still do Dracula. Like, obviously, you're going to want to do Dracula, but save that for the third one.
Yeah.
It's the end of his arc, right? Just save it for the third one.
Right. And also, like, if you're going to do Dracula, because, like, Werewolf by Night ties deeply into Dracula. You could tie Mephisto into that. You could tie Ghost Rider close to it because of the whole Darkhold and the spells and everything. Like, you could even make him a Midnight Suns type of character where, it's a bigger challenge and you kind of toss in a couple extra things in there. So there's plenty of things going on here. I do hope that she personally is somebody like, look, I'm the daughter of Dracula. And, here's my thing here that I'm doing with this whole plot. Because I think you should also try to avoid retreading some of the ground that the old Blade films did, because you're going to draw automatic comparisons. And
we know we're getting a Blood Rover, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I really want.
We all know we're going to get it.
Well, as for like the daughter of Dracula, like her main deal is that she wants to offer father. So it's on her own terms. So there's that problem with. Is that Lilith is their own villain, but she has a common goal with Blade that he wants to destroy Dracula, so that they can play something with that.
It's good because if you're one of the 8.25 people that's played the recent Midnight Suns video game, you know everything about this.
Define the quarter.
Well, there's all sorts of heights, right? I don't want to discourage if there's a little person out there that's playing this, and then there's an average 8-person, 8-foot tall person. So, like, you meet in the middle. It's a quarter of it,
Well, I thought you meant someone who keeps coming back to the game, hoping that they reorganize the gameplay mechanics.
No,
that game has gameplay mechanics.
I mean, playing cards is a gameplay mechanic.
Sometimes you get dealt
max them eating food.
You get dealt the worst hand in that game. Sometimes you're like, I can't do this battle, and then you pull it off. You're like, okay, never mind. I'm more smart than I thought I was, and yeah, let's hope this film is more smart than Blade 3 or the. Actually, no, I like the Spike series. I like that TV series. That wasn't bad.
Say if Ali shows up as Blade and just throws down a deck of cards, I'm gonna walk out.
No,
just like no. This isn't Yu-Gi-Oh!
I want to bring this up, though, because I've seen this. People are saying Blade can't be PG-13. Now, I want to point something out. Killing vampires, you don't need an R rating because they fall into the same robot category. You can do whatever you want to a robot, and since it's not human, it's okay. Vampires fall into that, which is why you've seen vampires on TV programs that can be PG-13 get absolutely demolished, and why in the old Blade movies, they burst into fire, because they decided to make those R-rated later in production, and that was just a holdover. So, like, the whole PG-13 thing, to me, is stupid, because Blade can work as PG-13, because guess what? Vampires, they can turn into dust. Buffy the Vampire Slayer did it in the 90s, and it worked. So, like...
Though apparently, according to the Scoopers, Blade is going to be rated R.
I mean, I've heard that too, which, if they want to, sure. That's cool. That's cool. I'll take it. But PG-13, even if it is, it works. They can still pull it off. So
I'll say either way, it's fine.
Yeah.
All it's going to be is a couple of swears. That's all it's going to be.
Yeah. So that's it. Blade should be starting production relatively soon. Like, it might actually start production and it won't get announced, just like we recently saw that Wonder Man is officially shooting and they never announced anything. Like, that series hasn't even been announced. So, you know, like...
No, it's Black Widow all over again, isn't it?
Yeah, they're just pretending it doesn't exist. Like when Feige was on... Feige on stage. So we saw you shooting something with Taskmaster and Black Widow. He just does that smile. He's like, I don't know what that is. It's like, bro... Bro, come on. Like...
No, that's Levram Studios.
Marvel. Must be Marvel Entertainment over there doing some wacky stuff. I don't know what that Ike Perlmutter's doing. Oh, okay, Kevin.
Perlmutter's last stand.
I'm gonna shoot this before you can, without a license. Good stuff. So yeah, look, we'll be talking more about Blade soon, because rest assured, set leaks from that will hit us hard, because seems like they're going to be doing a lot of it on location and not on a studio set. So get excited, new actors.
Yeah, no more volume.
Yeah, that's good.
I like the volume, but it's not good enough for movies yet.
Exactly, not yet. So we'll talk more about Blade. Going from one dark city to another, let's talk about the Penguin trailer, which unexpectedly was released when they announced that HBO Max is now just becoming Max.
Max, the place to watch HBO.
Yep.
It's a wonder. I wonder if Zaslav was surprised their stocks tanked like 6%.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. It's like after they announced it, the stocks like dropped 6% after that.
It's a dumb name change, but at least they announced a bunch of content coming, which, like, I think the best thing about it was they didn't just toss up logos. Like, they revealed the Penguin trailer, even though the thing just started shooting like 5 weeks ago. So,
in fairness, it is an in-production trailer.
Yeah.
It's in production teaser, because you just saw that they barely started filming stuff, especially for this thing. But to me, it looks really interesting.
I'd say it looks really good.
I do want to say, like, I had this complaint in my head, and then I thought about it for a second. I'm like, my complaint is not justified. So I talked myself into not being a toxic hater. And initially when I watched it, I was like, that doesn't really look like the Gotham from Batman. Like, there's a little bit of it, but it doesn't look overly Gotham-y and, like, gothic. And then I was like, wait a second. It's still in production. It's a lot of indoor shots. They're still clearly not properly done. So, like, it's going to take some time, because this is coming at us a year from now, if not more, you know? It's a slow
I'd say all
burn.
the interior shots look straight from the movie.
Yes, and that's why there wasn't a lot of exterior Gotham shots. Look, they're still going to do those pickup shots. I guarantee it. They're going to do Gotham pickup shots for Penguin when they're shooting Batman early next year and add them. Like, it kind of, like, it made sense in my head. I was like, okay, like, otherwise, though, man, this looks like they're going for that Sopranos wire level of, we want this to be, you didn't expect this type of quality from this, but here it is. Like, the next thing that everybody's talking about, which, man, it looks good. It truly looks amazing. I don't know how to describe it, but it just looks incredible.
So, I'm still on the fence of, can this version of Penguin, with the wacky accent, carry a show for this amount of time without being annoying? But that was a good trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I got to give him that. It looked great.
Yeah, it's
well, I mean, like, you rather have him have like a weird, like, bird penguin accent.
That's not what I said.
No, I can't wait.
That's a
Come
wacky
on,
accent.
Falcone.
I mean, it's virtually like that anyway.
I
loved it.
They need to release an exclusive track on the Blu-ray 4K that's just the original Penguin voice, like dubbed over it, every single line. You're like, oh, it's like grinding on your ears a minute in. You're like, I can't do this. I can't. Like,
I did have to laugh though, because he's starting to walk like a penguin now as well.
Yeah, yep.
That massive limp is just like, oh, here we go. Man's turning into a penguin.
By the end of the series, I hope that Batman jams half a bottle into his eye and he just looks like the Arkham version at that point. It's just like jammed into his face. It's like, bro.
That'd be cool.
Because that's my favorite look of the Penguin, the Arkham series. Like, he just looks perfect in that. So, it's, yeah.
What about Danny DeVito's Penguin, though?
I mean, yeah, that's it. I mean,
we can't ignore DeVito's Penguin. Come on now.
I just don't like that movie. I can hear Adam texting me right now. He's upset at my words.
It's not about the movie. It's about the Penguin. It's DeVito.
Hey, Bruce, you better pay the Penguin Troll if you want to avoid that Robin's hole. What? Oh, no, nothing. I didn't say anything. Okay.
The Pingu payroll.
But yeah, look, I don't know what else we could say. The Penguin trailer is just a small preview. It's very light on content, but it gives you the vibe, and it looks like it's going to be incredible. So take that for what it's worth.
It's nice to have something worthwhile on HMX.
It's true. Between waiting 7.5 years for Game of Thrones content, it's nice to have something else.
It's Succession's HBO, isn't it?
I have no clue. I haven't started it yet.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So good.
I hear it's good. That's why I'm
final season, so you got, good time to catch up.
I will get the Succession right after I start and finish Andor. So it might be a while.
Have you ever watched Arrested Development?
Yes.
Succession's that, but like serious.
But gritty. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's good to know. Well, all right, everybody. That's it for HBO. And moving on, Deadpool 3 has expanded its cast with unsurprising additions, I think is the best way to say it. So Colossus and is her name Copycat? Is that
Copycat? Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking Shadowcat, but I'm like, I don't think that's correct. So yeah,
the Shadowcat's Kitty Pryde.
That's it. That's why I was confusing the two. I was just reading some X-Men and I was like, trying to get back into that. But
I'll be perfectly honest. I saw this and I saw her name and I was like, but she died in the second one. I completely forgot he brought her back.
I had to have my wife explain to me what happens in the second movie, and I was like, this doesn't seem right. So I went and read a quick synopsis. I was like, oh yeah. The whole movie is pointless because at the end he just resets everything to before she died. Yeah.
I totally forgot the reason why I don't like that movie.
Yep.
Well, still not liking the movie. It's kind of...
Yeah, that's it. So
Success.
The only missing piece of this puzzle, as far as we know, is Josh Brolin. Like
they didn't announce what's her face, Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
I mean, I kind of wasn't.
Yukio, in fairness,
I wasn't expecting either of them, but I'm gonna assume they're gonna show up in the X Mansion again, right? Like,
I mean, probably, but they are the only two people we're missing. We've got the guy who drives the taxi.
Yeah.
We've got the old lady, right?
Yep, she's back. Yep.
Yeah, literally everyone but those two.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's fine. At least they're bringing back most of it and not recasting anybody, which was the worry. So this movie's sounding pretty good. Again, they start shooting in like 2 months-ish. It sounds like they're starting production right alongside Thunderbolts in June, possibly early July. So like this thing is almost here, which means the cast is getting rounded out. And from what we understand,
also means we got this and Blade back to back.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
That's if they don't delay and move stuff around. But as it stands, Deadpool 3 and Blade are the two.
Yeah, that's true.
Coming out with each other.
And also, like, looking at Deadpool 3 in regards to, like, the bigger picture here, I mean, this film has to deliver on a lot of fronts, which I appreciate that they're giving them more time. Because if you guys remember, Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2, they had the quickest, almost like Matthew Vaughn first class turnaround. It was like less than 12 months. Like, that never happened with Fox. Like, they did not do that. Like, so this film, giving it almost like 2 years, is pretty good. Like, it gives them a lot of time to make sure everything is right and feels authentic, which I like. And also allows them for degrees of, I don't want to say hard pivot, but if something doesn't work for reshoots, like we just found out they added one of the writers of She-Hulk to the film.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, some people are upset, but I'm like, bro, like, yeah, She-Hulk makes sense. You would want one of those writers on there, especially with that whole fourth wall breaking. Like, I'm sorry, but She-Hulk broke the fourth wall better than any Deadpool moment, I would say. So.
Oh, easily. But wait till people find out that one of the Miss Marvel directors is doing a Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yep. So, any thoughts on Deadpool 3 and what's going on here? Because we keep hearing just every week it's something new hits. It's like, oh, cool. It's shaping up to be exactly what I want. So
I'm in the same spot as I was after Deadpool 2. I'm really struggling to care.
Yeah.
Like, really struggling. It's cool that Jackman's coming back as Wolverine, but I don't know. I'm not expecting him to stick around with any of the supporting cast to stick around.
Yeah.
I'm only expecting Reynolds to stay. So
Yep.
I don't know.
That's honestly how I'm expecting it. Like, and that's kind of like my holdup as well. Like, I'm excited to see this really bad because we're going to get Hugh in the suit and everything. But my complete expectations are like, oh, by the end of this, it'll be like Wolverine will return in Secret Wars. Yay, clap. Okay, I will. But other than that, it's going to be like their post-credit scene tag is going to be like, and Deadpool's the only one that remains. It's going to be like, oh. So that was all for nothing, huh? Like, that's... Yeah, it's a weird one, so we got to wait and see how they handle it. Because there's no way Hugh Jackman's going to play proper MCU Wolverine for another 20 years. That's just not happening. So,
no chance.
Yeah,
no chance.
That's too much, so... I don't know, Tristan, any feelings, thoughts, concerns?
Not really. No, I just wanted it to be good, but I'm glad that they're getting some of the fan favorites to come back because Deadpool 2 isn't very good.
Yeah.
that's the only really thing because I'm glad that they got Hugh back, but I'm just like Mitch, I'm just indifferent to Deadpool 3 at this point. I'd rather them just have a clean slate after this movie with migrating Deadpool into the MCU to see what he can actually do with different characters other than X-Men.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it'd be amazing.
We know we're going to see him with Loki and Owen Wilson, right?
Yeah.
They're clearly going to do the TVA.
My
if
biggest...
they don't, I'll be surprised. I'll be shocked.
And that's the thing. That's like my biggest thing looking at this. I'm like, I would honestly be funny if and I know a lot of people would be pissed. They bring Deadpool and the TVA arrests him, and then it's like the MCU proper Deadpool just kills him and takes his place. And he's like, oh, I'm Deadpool now. It's like, oh, we can play on it. He literally killed that version of Deadpool.
Yeah.
People would be pissed, but it's like, but look, guys, it's an in-joke because that happens in the comics as well. Deadpool's been replaced, different versions you followed, the multiverse, like the whole Poolverse, if you will, was a whole thing that happened. So, I mean, they can play around with it. So
they kill him off and just bring in Gwenpool. Do that way.
I'd be cool with that. I like Gwenpool. She's entertaining enough. So
watch the old white men rage on YouTube.
You mean like they are with the Marvel trailer, which we'll talk about in a second? Yeah. Well,
I mean, it could happen, but it's kind of weird with how they kind of retconned her to being an Omega level mutant instead of being a person from an alternate reality.
Yeah, that's true too. I forgot that happened. Yeah. Well, I mean,
everyone forgot that happened.
Let's be real.
No, it was weird because she thought she was from an alternate universe, and goes, "No, you're just an Omega level mutant. I mean, you just went a little crazy. That's all."
There is no way that Ryan Reynolds is going to resist the urge to recreate the Council of Kangs scene, but it's just going to be every version of Deadpool ever, right? Like
that's exactly what's going to kill that universe.
Yeah. Yep.
He's going to use the thing that the little cable time travel watch.
Yeah.
He's going to get a bunch of himself, like just from his one timeline. It's going to be him a million times over. They're all going to be dressing up as different things. Everything's going to collapse, and you're going to get the, oh well.
Yep. It's like, oh, well, one of us will survive, and then it's just the MCU one, and that's it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Done.
And
See?
we move on happily in the knowledge that we'll never see them again, apart from Jackman.
Agreed. I can do that. Let's talk about that The Marvels trailer, which unexpectedly dropped, even though the film is coming at us in November. And boy, it's one of the most disliked trailers in Marvel history. I wonder why. I wonder why.
I bet it's because the song told people not to turn to smile, which might have been the best song choice I've ever made.
It was quite amazing. So I guess I'll start and we'll pass it around. Everybody give your quick thoughts. I love this trailer. It took the elements I complained a little bit about in the first movie, which was like, look, from the story perspective and character, she had to be emotionless and a soldier that was brainwashed. And that's what the movie was about. So, of course, she wasn't smiling and having fun and all this. This one completely undoes that. You can see she's grown. Kamala is an absolute joy in every scene she's in. She brings life to that trailer.
She's going to steal that movie, I tell you.
I mean, I understand why Feige and the producers and everybody was saying, you guys are going to love her in this. Like, she's the future of this. Like, she looks like it. Monica looks good. The suit, I like the suits. I might be in the minority on this just by looking at the chats we had, but I love Captain Marvel's new suit. So yeah, Mitch, what's your takeaway on this?
I think the suits are actually horrendous, apart from Monica's. I've never seen a bigger drop in quality in suits. In fairness to them, right? The first suit she has in the first movie is perfect. You can't top that. But it's like they haven't even tried.
I mean, they just got rid of their penny pincher. What do you expect, man?
I mean, there's penny pinching, then there's like, have the concept artists just run out of ideas? I mean, I know why we're giving Captain Marvel the other Captain Marvel suits. But Janice Fells, the worst one, really?
I almost feel like that this suit was made so every single cosplayer can make it in a weekend. Does that make sense?
It looks like they did.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like to me. And again, I'm not hating on it, but I need to see a better image of it. Like, I like what it looks like. I just need to see a better image of it full on. Like, hey, here's what this looks like, you know?
Yeah. It's cool she has the accuser hammer, or what I assume is an accuser hammer, because they're still dealing with Kree. That's a nice little detail to have, but there's 3 degrees of suits in this. You have the overly simple trash one, which Carol has. You got the stupidly over-designed trash one, which Kamala ends up having.
hate her new suit.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's actually disgusting. But then you have Monica's, and it's like, the first one she has, it's nice and simple. It's all white, it's black. And then you have the next one, which is more black than white. And it's like, there's actually a consistent through line of details on her suits. It's like, that's a good suit. The pair of them are good suits. But I don't know what happened with the other two. They just... So I don't like the whole she's more red than blue. And it's dark. I don't like... Yeah, I don't like that color scheme on Carol.
I mean, if you look at the suit, like, she has 2 suits in this movie, obviously. The one we see, that's the normal with the sleeves rolled up with the smaller star that she has at the end of Captain or Miss Marvel, and then she's got the new one. So we're getting at least 2 suits in this, and I kind of see what you're going for. Like, it's probably tied into the story in the movie somehow or something. Like, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Tristan, what's your quick takeaway on this?
It's I guess the story premise is interesting to me because none of the leads in the story can use their powers because they're linked, and if they do, they trade places all over the place, which can be kind of funny and it can be annoying depending on how they pull it off, because we see it in the trailer in the beginning where Monica's trying to, I guess, inspect this dimensional rift, and she tries using her powers and she switches with Kamala, and Kamala's in the spacesuit, and
I
she's
mean,
talking to Fury about, is this supposed to be some kind of Avengers test?
we also like. I'm glad you mentioned that because at the end of the trailer, we see that Kamala is like doing her power, and then we can clearly see she's morphing into one of the other ones, switching places with the powers. It's like that's gonna be an amazing when the three of them work in tandem to fight everybody's favorite new gender swapped Marvel villain that they completely ruined from the comics.
This is my favorite thing because we've gotten to the the Onion is now real life, right?
It's true.
This character survived the whole of 5 months in the comics.
Yeah.
5 months, and there's legitimately people complaining about a gender swap.
It's funny because like I had somebody comment being like, "Well, I bet you or me would be upset if Kazar was a woman." I'd be like, actually, if they made Kazar a woman, I'd be more open to that. That'd be freaking amazing.
Isn't there a female Kazar anyway?
Yes, like Sheena. She's essentially
one,
female Kazar. Yeah, I'm like, but if they wanted to straight up gender swap, sure. It's not. I'm not against it.
It's such a non-issue.
Yeah, like whatever, man. It's cool. Like,
especially for Ben Durr.
Yeah,
Durr Ben, whatever the hell this character's name is.
Also, can I bring up the fact that everybody's like, this movie, of course, they have to put all these women into it. If they would have put a male into the villain role, you'd be saying that sexist and they're beating up a male. Like, that's literally what you did with the first movie.
I mean, they're saying that even now, right? Because it's all women. It's like they're getting rid of the men now. It's the same argument.
It's the argument is really weird. It's like where they're saying like, you're making the MCU the MCU, and I'm like, there are female heroes. The only difference here is that you don't want to see the female heroes, so you're complaining about nothing at this point. And it's like if you're not interested in these types of heroes, then you don't have to watch it. But apparently people have the mentality that everything has to be built or viewable for them, when not everything can be for you. Well, and you can say that I don't like this, and just wait until you see another movie that you want to see.
And here's what I love about it: these same people will be like, "We want comic accuracy. Look at how it's done in the 616 universe." MCU gets name dropped as a joke as 616. No, you can't be. It's like, okay, so you're admitting it's not the 616 and should be different. Yes. Okay, so they're being different. Here you go. Like, what do you want?
It's not even that. It's to the point to where people will say they want comic accuracy, and then when you get the comic accuracy, oh no, it looks stupid.
Yeah.
You don't want that. I was like, do you guys actually know what you want? Well, we want this to be very similar, but not that different, so we know what's coming.
This is
the
like
general audience for any movies never know what they wanted.
Yeah. That's
ever. It's always, we want this. No, not like that.
It's literally the Simpsons test, and I'm over there as Milhouse being like, "Wow, he loves the one man in the loincloth." It's like, yes, that's what the people want. They want both.
And to get a little correction, her name is Shauna the She-Devil.
There we go.
Female Kazar.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I was about to say Zoe Ashton's character is not She-Devil.
No, that's her. I guess that's her code name, technically. So yeah, if they wanted to do instead of Kazar and go with the female role, that Shanna would be the one to go with.
Like, that's the thing. Like, we're in a different universe, and also this film, like, we definitely got the sense that, I mean, even the plot synopsis teases the end of, like, a universe. Like, this is a multiversal film. Like, something is going on here with that thing. I mean, I got the vibe from that, right? Like,
I mean, like, technically, Miss Marvel was one too.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't.
Well, no, I mean, the other world.
The plot of the other world.
What was that? The clandestine world. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We get into a conversation here. Is our dimensions the same as a multiverse?
True. Yeah.
I don't class them as they are.
Technically, they can be interchangeable.
But at the same time, you can have a dimension. Asgard's technically a dimension. That's in our universe.
Yeah.
It's comics. It's all.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I will say that I just so I'm not trashing on. It sounds like I'm trashing on everything. 'Cause I just spent 5 minutes trashing on the suits. I really like the fact that it's us getting more into the space stuff now, because the whole thing Monica's looking at is the jump points that from like Guardians. Because it's that hexagon.
Yeah.
So that Earth now has a jump point. Obviously, we have the Saber base. It's not Spear or whatever it was in the comics, or not yet anyway. So we have that. Like, I really like that sort of aspect.
Yeah, No, I think there's a lot of intriguing stuff in this. Like you said, she's investigating that. There's obviously Nick Fury up in space.
We got
also Zoe Ashton's character has got the other bangle from Kamala. They made this quite clearly on her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we got that one scene where Kamala finds Goose, and we have a whole bunch of was it Firkins?
Flurkin.
Yeah. Now
that are space monsters that look like cats, but they're not cats.
I do want to bring up, because did anybody read that alleged plot leak we got like a year and a half ago for this film?
Is that the one where it says I can't remember the guy's name. I think he was from Crazy Rich Asians. Park. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
For the life of me. Where his planet's a musical one?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I hope that's true.
Because
I really hope that's true.
Some of the details in that, I remember reading that plot leak. Obviously, it was, online. It was on like the shutdown message board and everything. And it also hit like 4chan or whatever. But they distinctly said, like, we're going to get a mention of the Universal Inhumans. And everything else in this trailer tracked with that leak. And I'm like, there's a part of me that, like, when Monica gets teleported to, like, the moon-looking place, I'm like, are they going to hint towards something here? Because that plot leak is on point. Like, it was like 90% of what's in this trailer was in that leak. So I'm like,
yeah.
I think they could pull off Universal Inhumans and just say that that's them.
Even if you don't see it, right, the fact that it's Kree and Kamala's there, you could be like, oh, you an Inhuman?
Yeah.
Are you one of ours?
Yep. Well,
they could quite easily retcon the whole stupid mutant scene from the show and just be like, oh no, you are one of ours.
Yep.
It smells like copium up in here.
Hold on.
I mean, why would Bruno know that what she is? Like,
he's a smart boy. That's
one
why.
kid in Jersey knows that mutants exist before literally anyone else. Get out of here.
He's a super smart boy. That's what.
That's what you're missing,
that smart.
Mitch. You're missing that they're gonna reveal that Bruno is actually Bobby Drake. That's what you're missing here.
Don't talk about Bruno, all right?
Oh man,
Kanto reference.
I didn't know this. But Goose was originally named Chewie.
Yeah. Yep. They changed that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say in the comics it was going to be Chewie, but I can't remember why they called it Goose. Obviously because of Top Gun, but
no. So what happened was, remember when what was it, 2012, when Disney bought Star Wars?
Yeah,
that's when they decided to change it because they didn't want people buying plushies because they were working on Captain Marvel and they knew Chewie was going to be in there. They're like, we need to change the name because Chewie's too close. People are going to get confused. So
yeah,
I remember reading about that way back when. So
yeah.
It works.
I remember reading the reason. I was just blanking on it. I knew it'd be something like that. But
well, that's it.
I thought it was a very good trailer.
Same. I like it. I can't wait for this movie. I cannot wait.
It looks fun. The dynamic between them all looks fun.
Everything looks fun.
Iron Valani needs to be protected at all costs again.
Yeah. So good.
Do not let any neckbeard go for that girl. You can't.
Because once I remember when they went to the house, I was like, "Ooh, I completely forgot about it." I completely forgot about it until now.
Yeah, they're obviously not giving a damn about those allegations on that one.
Yeah, until there's more on it. Exactly.
I'll be honest, I forgot, and I was just like, "Yay, the dad's back!"
Same.
I saw Ricardo tweeting, and I was like, "Oh, the dad's back."
Of course, Ricardo's tweeting about it.
God damn it.
Yep. There. Our final topic of this podcast, we're going to talk about the Super Mario Bros. Movie. With spoilers, of course. It's been a long time coming. The original '90s film is one of the biggest atrocities of all time committed on video game films.
No, I mean, it's actually really good.
I can't believe that's what people are saying now. I cannot believe that. It's
Look, we're so far removed from it now that people that didn't watch it in '93 are watching it now.
It went full circle. It's like it was so bad that it's actually kind of fun to watch. That's
the thing. Good. I saw somebody say this movie had a vision that was bold. I'm like, actually, the vision was Batman '89 is so good because it looks like a Tim Burton movie. Make Super Mario Tim Burton. That was the vision. It was no stop.
The poster even says this isn't a game.
Exactly.
They did not give a crap about Mario. It was an IP they could use to make a Batman movie.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at all the reports from filming, the directors, mostly everyone associated with that film didn't care.
Every time Bob Haskins, before he passed away, was asked about it, or anybody, they'd be like, so, what was it like working on that film? They're like, I hated the director, I hated my co-stars, I hated the suit, I hated that film, and my children hate me for it. It's like, okay, that's an uphill battle with that movie.
Yeah. But this one is good for how they wanted it to go, for being very, very simple.
I say this is like the ultimate kids film, right? There's not really a lot of substance to it. There's no character arcs.
They tried to give them character arcs.
I mean, they tried. They just didn't really do it well.
To me,
it's breakneck kid movie pace.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, to me, this was, and this is the best way I described it. It's somebody really good doing a speed run of a Mario video game, and quick 30-second exposition scenes are stitching together the speed run. It's an illumination. If you've ever seen Minions, it's the same format. Like, you have the character do a quick serious moment, 30 seconds later they're making a face, jump paws in the air, doing their thing, quippy. Like, it's an illumination film, and if you understand that, you go into this, you know what you're getting. I will still say I think Sonic 1 is a superior film,
100% not.
But to me, Sonic 2 is a better Sonic film. So, like, this is like Sonic 2, where I'm like, this is a better game, like, adaptation, if that makes sense. Like,
because it's literally just Mario.
Yeah. It's not messing around.
For me, and for what a lot of people have said, not so far as the complete film critics, this is supposed to be technically a movie, not a video game. So you can't use the excuse of saying, "What do you expect?" No one's saying
absolutely say it's a video game movie.
And no one's saying that it has to be completely flawless, but it has to have some substance. And what some people have saying, what I finally came to, is that it would have benefited for like an extra 20 to 30 minutes of.
But that's the problem, right? It's an animated kids movie.
Yeah. It's like it would benefit from that, for getting some exposition and having the characters actually having those character moments. And what they did with Luigi was completely wrong. They completely cut him out of the movie in any kind of growth, when they could have had him trying to break out all the prisoners from Bowser's, I guess, lava pool. And the only thing that they kind of gave him was, like, at the end, he kind of helped Mario beat Bowser.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, right, it's adapting the first game. Luigi wasn't in the first game.
And also, like, it's just, how do I put this? Like, this never needed to be more than what it is. Like, I understand, I have critic friends, and they're like hardcore film buffs. And they're like, well, it doesn't explain much. I'm like, that's because it's made for Nintendo fans who know this. It's not worried about having a deep plot or lore or anything like that. Like, it's what it needs to be. And it's what it needs to be so a kid can watch it 3 times in a row while their mom takes a break from watching them. Like, it's...
like, I understand that, but at the same time, you have Puss in Boots' Last Wish, where
Puss in Boots is the difference with Puss in Boots' Last Wish, right? And I will say, Puss in Boots' Last Wish is a far better movie than Mario.
I still haven't seen that, but I haven't seen it, but I'll agree with that.
Right, it's fantastic. The difference between that different audience. Mario is directly aiming at kids. Puss in Boots is aiming at older, like Gen Z, younger millennial.
I mean,
that grew up with stuff like Shrek. They're not aiming at kids.
And like, I went into Super Mario not knowing much. I watched the first teaser and that was it. So there's like one moment when they go, and obviously we're talking a little spoilers here. We won't spoil everything, but they go and they're like, oh, there's Donkey Kong and everything. And I literally turned to my wife. I'm like, are they about to pull out and literally just say, go buy Super Smash Brothers because this is a Smash Brothers stage? And they literally do it 10 seconds after. And then there's a Mario Kart sales pitch. I'm like, you know what? It's aware of what it is, and I appreciate it for that because I got straight home, booted up my Switch, and I was like, oh, time to play Odyssey again. Like, it's, you know, like...
It's like this just goes back to me. It's like this is good, but I just wanted some character development, especially with Donkey Kong, where it's like they gave him technically a reason to hate Mario, but even then, it's the wrong version of Donkey Kong hates Mario.
Yeah.
And when they tried to reconcile that, because they gave something to DK, where it's like he doesn't want to be viewed as the muscle, the guy that just smashes stuff, and you don't really get any anything of substance from that when Mario tries to have a heart-to-heart with him to see why he's like that. And it's just that, oh, we're friends now, we're gonna go beat Bowser. And it's just,
I was gonna say Donkey Kong has the best character arc out of anyone.
Yeah.
What
actually has a character arc.
What being an ass, but that's the thing that's not this DK's personality.
Yeah, but this isn't the game, right? It's an adaptation. You have to have differences. Like
right.
At the end of the day, does anyone actually care that the Donkey Kong that threw barrels at Mario is not the same one as this one? Like, it's Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, people don't even know.
You know, the casuals may not, but the diehard Nintendo fans will care.
I mean, all right, the 46-year-olds that care, like,
because you'd be surprised. I saw some reactions to it where some people said, "Oh, I took my parents to this," and it's like they just marked out to DK and they loved the rap. And the only problem was that he was being an ass.
No, there was supposed to be a difference between the Donkey Kong doesn't get on with Mario and the other Donkey Kong.
Yeah, the Cranky Kong.
It's a Donkey Kong.
It's like the Cranky Kong is the original Donkey Kong that hates Mario.
Yep.
And the current DK doesn't hate Mario.
Well, I mean, this was clearly like this whole section of the world and this whole thing. I can definitely see that they're doing a Donkey Kong spin-off off of this, right? Like, it felt like a pitch.
Yeah, that's what they are. That's what this was technically supposed to. If it did well, which it is, they're gonna continue with it. The only thing that I had a problem with that is that if you look at the movie OST, they had an original score that had remixes and stuff reminiscent of the video game soundtracks put into an orchestral format. You can clearly see that when they go to the Kong Kingdom, where if you check the movie OST, that whole section where I think it was it Take On Me? It was that 80s song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The original score for that is called Driving Me Bananas, which is a orchestral remix of, I think it's Jungle Hijinks and the intro to Donkey Kong Country, which fits that scene a lot better than what they.
Well, this is one of my issues with this movie, right? I didn't really have a problem with like the actual songs, like the actual real world songs they use, apart from one that wasn't in the 80s, because this movie is clearly supposed to be like 80s Brooklyn and all that, but for some reason we've got like Mr. Brightside just chilling here at one point. But you can take those licensed tracks out, put in the actual music from the games, and do how like the orchestral stuff and how they did it for the rest of it. And this movie still would have been just as good, if not slightly better. Like the whole Mario Kart bit, you didn't need a licensed track.
Again, it's the whole Illumination formula. Like that's the whole.
That's what people were saying is basically that higher ups had put these songs in there for for reference and nostalgia.
Yeah. It really felt like we have Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt's known for Guardians. Guardians is known for the soundtrack.
Yep.
We need to have an 80s soundtrack in here somewhere.
That was the thing with me. Like, I was watching this and I'm like, this feels like some of this is by committee, and also at the same time, like you said, the whole Chris Pratt connection, and it's not bad. I understand why you do it. It's kind of like when Uptown Funk hit, every single trailer on everything was using that song for like 5 years straight. I'm like, please, just stop. Everything's the same. It's like, I know what they were going for because it's catchy, because then the parents can jam out to it and their brains, they have to think too hard. And there's a lot of things in this movie that are like that, and I think it works for it.
Especially with all the Easter eggs. I was surprised that Punch-Out made an appearance as the restaurant that they're in the beginning.
I really I love the fact that when they're running to that job at the start of the movie, it's 1-1.
Right.
Like they're doing the first level.
You know what really pissed me off about that, though, is like, if Nintendo had a console as powerful as a PS5, that's what Mario would look like.
It would look
like the new Ratchet and Clank we got. It looks like a Pixar movie, you know? It's like,
very close
come
close to the
on.
movie, because like when you say that, people were saying, I like these new renders of model renders from the movies. I wish we get that in the games. And I'm like,
20 years from now, boys.
You want your Switch to explode?
You'll settle for the voice lines in your games there.
Like, it'll be a while. I don't know, like,
which is really cool with the matinee. He was in it.
The
original voice of Mario. He was is it just a walk-on role with?
Wasn't he also his dad?
He's the dad,
he's the dad and that one dude that was in the restaurant.
And I am glad I was vindicated when I said, imagine him doing his voice for more than 30 seconds. It would get graining on you. And literally, there was this family behind us. And the dad was like, could you imagine if that was Mario's voice the entire movie? I was like, thank you. My God. Because
I'll be honest, when they played the little the commercial, the advert for their business, I was like, why can't we have all this? Chris Pratt does it so well in that voice. It's like, I can live with the whole Brooklyn thing. I get it. Mario's an isekai. Welcome to 40 years ago, everyone. Like,
it's funny. It's just funny. He's like, you think that accent's too much? And he's no, it's not.
It's like it could have worked, and like it's kind of. Look, it was. I didn't get distracted from it, but every time we switched between the Brooklyn and the original voice, it was. He did a good job. He wasn't my favorite in the movie, but he did a good job.
Yeah, but the actors' voices were pretty on point with most of the characters. A lot of the standout ones were basically Jack Black.
There's only one standout one. Let's be honest here.
It's Jack Black as Bowser. He ate the scene.
I don't know, man. Like, Charlie Day being Charlie Day, clearly sniffing glue and doing his lines is pretty good.
Because I think at this point, Peaches can be nominated.
Yeah, absolutely. If that doesn't get best original song, there's gonna be a riot.
Which is because the funny part about it is like he sings it so honestly that's why it's funny and good.
That's why he's so good at it. It's like, yes, this song isn't good, but Jack Black just puts his all into it.
Just think, he got to have amazing roles back to back in Mando and this. You can't keep Jack Black down.
Which is funny because he's just being himself, and people hated him for it in Mando, but love him for it.
But he's being himself here, and it's great. Yeah, I love both.
Another cameo that I liked, which was funny, we go back to the Kong Kingdom scene, is that you see Diddy and Chunky Kong, where it's like, everyone calm down. That means you, Diddy Kong. Sorry.
Yep.
Good old Diddy Kong.
It was, the best way to describe this movie, love letter to Mario fans. Like, that's literally it.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
I wouldn't put it as, like, the best, game to movie or whatever. Like, if I'm going to judge it as a film and criteria, it's like, but as what it's supposed to do and what I expected, it checks off every single box I had. So, like, I'm not going to fault it for that, it's...
Sure, it is just a collection of scenes.
Yeah.
which is a weird criticism because that's all a movie is, right? Just a collection of things. But like, it has the thinnest of bare bones plot holding it together, but everything surrounding it holds it up, and it works.
That's essentially that's what it boils down to. It's like I guess the storytelling could have been better. Yeah, but it's illumination. What do you expect? It's scenes put together with some funny jokes and some nostalgia with some pop songs. That's their formula. Which for all
hopefully, because let's be honest, this movie's getting a sequel. Right?
Yeah,
like, you don't make 400 million in a weekend and not get anything back from it. But hopefully, they do the whole thing where the second one has a bit more of a plot.
Yeah,
like they've set up everything now. You can't physically set up anything else. Like,
which is a little weird because like people say Mario games don't have much of a plot for games. That's for the earlier games, because once you start getting into the 3D area, especially with Mario Galaxy.
I know you're not going to say Super Mario 64 had any kind of
plot. No. No, it starts.
That movie is movement tech starts the game.
Yeah, no, I know. It starts more so with like Super Mario Sunshine, but more so with Galaxy, where it has
what was
more
the plot for Sunshine?
They go on vacation, and Mario gets blamed for an imposter that ruins everything. But in actuality, it's just at the introduction of Bowser Jr., who believed Bowser's lies that Peach was his mother.
I think you put more effort into that explanation in the game than she did.
Yep. No,
I love Sunshine. No, I can remember that, but that was not clear enough.
That's what it was, and that was basically the first and almost the last time.
I mean, let's not expand on it too much. Look, it's a Mario movie. We've said what we like. A couple of things we have. There's not really too much more to talk about it. All three of us clearly enjoy this film. Yeah. We thought it was good.
It had so is it Seth Rogen as DK. It was very, very fitting. And people still joke that he still sounds like he smokes the weed and eats bananas.
I mean, as Seth Rogen says, right? Like, if you get him for a voice acting, you're gonna get Seth Rogen.
He does not do voices. Yeah. Well,
I went into it excited from the trailers, and I can't lie, the Rotten Tomato score kind of bummed me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Went in, I didn't let that affect me. I went in, I loved the movie. It's like, I understand what those people are saying, but I am a man of a certain age, and I'm not gonna spend time dissecting a kids movie.
Exactly. Yep. That's it. I
walked in, I had fun, I walked out loving it.
Yeah, I mean,
give me more.
I cannot wait to get this on 4K and watch it in the comfort of my own home.
It's gonna look so good.
Well, that's the funny thing about that is, as soon as the movie got its opening gross, it was it was number 1, number 2, and number 3 on Amazon for pre-orders for for 4K, Blu-ray, and regular DVDs.
Also, I will say one little thing I forgot about this movie. The fact that the only way Mario's dad can be proud of him is by saving the planet is not the message you want to give out. It's like, I'm proud of you, son. You saved David weird talent.
Yeah, because at the beginning it was like horrible what he said. It's like, you get away from a steady job, and you know what the worst part is? You're going to bring your brother down with you. And I was like, oh, good.
Also, like, are those two malnourished or something? Like, why are they so small compared to everyone?
Yeah.
I don't know. Apparently, they don't eat their mushrooms, because you can see Mario giving each mushrooms.
But I loved that. Yeah. I know it's one of those jokes people would like cringe at, like, of course he hates mushrooms. I adored that. It's like,
The last thing before we end this is that I guess Miyamoto actually, the reason people thought, how did they get their parents? Miyamoto said that when they were making Mario for the Nintendo, he actually designed their parents but never released them. So the designs of the movie are based off the original concept designs of their parents.
That's cool.
I like that. That's a cool little detail.
Yeah. Well, that's it, everybody, for Mario. Let us know what you thought about it down that. Well, that's officially and effectively brought us to the end of this here podcast. In other news, let's just celebrate that Morbius is more successful than Shazam 2. Whoever would have saw that coming, but yeah.
That's a sad time.
Dude, imagine Morbius beats you at the worldwide box office, and then you release your movie on video on demand, and it opens up on 3rd, and a week after, it's not even in top 10.
Morbius. No wonder Zachary Levi's like having a panic attack over his job.
Yeah, it's. Ugh.
No, I don't think he is. I think he just moved on.
I don't know. He made a clearly he was on coke or something.
Yeah.
Please watch my movie video.
Don't watch John Wick. It's not kid friendly. It's bad. Okay.
Especially after the whole thing before. It's nah, I'm fine. Look, I'm on a skiing holiday at Peter Safran because we're friends. It's that was that was your last meal. You're getting put out to pasture, mate. No,
either that or The Rock was trolling him with calls all throughout his vacation.
Yo, can we talk about the biggest savior to his career? He's like, okay, Universal doesn't want me because I ruined Fast and Furious and caused drama. I burnt every bitch with WB. Hey, Disney!
It goes back to Disney.
Remember how you acted? Moana?
Disney?
Yeah.
Moana. That was a repressed memory.
I like the idea that Bob Iger was like, so you came crawling back, Dwayne, huh? After all that smack talking about how you're going to take down Disney as a WB, you're back.
And Iger's like, we're gonna make the public hate you even more,
dude.
You're gonna announce you're doing a live action remake of a movie that's been out for 4 hours.
I was literally joking. I was like, at this point, Disney's gonna announce that live action remakes of upcoming cartoons are happening first. Like they're at that point. We're just gonna reverse this on you.
Because even with the announcement, it was technically weird and a little bit. Well, no, it's cringes though. How he said it. Because to me, it sounded like he was just gonna try and be a live action Maui.
Yeah.
I was like,
he can't be that because Maui loses and has a panic attack. You can't have that.
Oh.
The Rock is just gonna peck pop everybody out of his way. Yeah.
Because the one thing I will give it is that filming the whole entire movie on the Hawaiian Islands is gonna be extremely beautiful.
Bro, it's going to be so pricey.
It's just going to be it's going to be the humans again. I did have to laugh because the video of him announcing this is the exact same as him talking about Black Adam.
Yup.
So I'm The Rock. I'm in a light flowy shirt. I'm bald. I'm sitting on a beach talking about a movie.
You wish you were here.
It's literally the same beach shot from a different angle.
The hierarchy of Samoa is going to change forever. What, Rock? What are you going on about? They need to put Zachary Levi in that movie just so the two can fist fight.
Oh no!
I was going to say get Jason Momoa for the crab.
But he's not going to actually play the crab. He's just going to be Jason Momoa painted like one. It's just just red.
He's just wearing a gold shell, like a gold and purple shell.
Oh, man. It'd probably look better than Aquaman. I'll be real with you.
Oh. I mean, just reuse the Aquaman props, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, there were none because it was all CGI.
Well, everybody, thank you for joining us for this podcast and our send-off to the death of Black Adam, the death of Shazam, and whatever else they killed combined. Wow, the Shazam family really did a number on a lot of stuff, huh? So there you go. Everybody.
Before we go, what's Mario and Luigi's favorite clothes made out of?
God damn it! Just say it.
Denim.
That's it. Goodbye, everybody. It's not even me. Just don't yell at me this time.
I seriously thought you were going to say whatever's Mario and Luigi's last name.
Mario.
That is correct. Most people didn't think that it was that.
I look forward to Super Mario Bang Bros, which is definitely going to come out in like a month.
Or that Mario and Luigi are actually 25 years old.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yep.
In my mind, I always watched Captain Wu Albano, and he was like 65 and creepy. So,
Apparently, Miyamoto said because people kept asking, and he finally got fed up with it. He said they're like 25 years old.
Oh man, just threw out an age.
yeah.
No, like, he threw it out, and then he's like, "No, it's confirmed. They're 25."
Okay, fine. I guess they're 25. All right, everybody. Well, take care, and we'll catch you next time.